What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the second episode of Hot Takes. I did not know that there was gonna be a second episode. I'm gonna be honest, but here we are. So today we're gonna be talking about gaming predictions, the console wars. There's some leaks about consoles. There's some leaks about the Suicide Squad that, a lot of people are anticipating this game, but who really knows what it's about because we haven't seen much. And I got a whole panel today to talk about some of these games and the console wars and stuff. So I'm going to introduce them one by one. So we got Aaron World Order here. What's up, Aaron?
What's up, guys? Hey, what's up? I'm Aaron Ward. I do have a YouTube channel also. It's actually pretty much down
Yeah,
below here, Aaron Ward.
yeah, I'll be linking it down below for people on the replay and whoever stops by and stuff. So then we got Arkham Gaming. What's up,
Hey,
Arkham?
so I have YouTube channel. I do comic books, etc. I have to be right back. Someone's at the door.
Oh man. And then we got another guest, a newcomer. His name is An Amazing Monkey. So introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm an amazing monkey. Unlike Aaron and Arkham Gaming, I got nothing. I just got a Twitter and I don't say anything. I don't got nothing. I'm just a random monkey.
All right, that's nice, Monkey. That's
you.
nice.
Can I get a banana? Give me a banana.
No, we're not. We don't give out free bananas here.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Aaron's like, what the fuck's going on?
This is what we do, Aaron.
This is
I
what
heard
we
they're
do on
gonna
our
give out
spare
free
time.
bananas
I'm back.
at the Muriel
Oh, okay.
movie because Donkey Kong's in, so they give out free
Oh,
bananas.
shit.
Uh,
He doesn't even
Random
like
happened to me.
Nintendo. And now he's playing Nintendo.
Hey, I just got into Mario Odyssey, okay? I'm playing through the Nintendo games, maybe, okay? But my impressions of Mario Odyssey is I think it's a really fun platformer, and I felt like, I totally messed up when I playing Mario Odyssey earlier. That's my damn shame, but it really is. Like, it's a box of creativity. Like, every level, just more stuff that I don't know how they come up with some of the stuff that they do, but I'm like, wow. Like, I need to play more Nintendo games.
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, what is everybody playing? What's Aaron playing? I'm curious.
I'm playing Final Fantasy Velvet Born right now. The latest expansion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to get into Final Fantasy. I know they're gonna re-release, what is it? 1 to 6. I know it's on mobile right now and so I really want to play it on Switch. And then obviously there's 2 other big Final Fantasy games coming out this year. One of them probably isn't going to come out, but what's our complaint?
I'm playing. What is it? Resident Evil Village, and I'm playing.
That's great.
Was it Horizon? I'm finishing Horizon Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody knows me. I have a hot take about Horizon.
He hates
You hate it with a passion.
I just don't.
It killed his parents or something. He hates that game.
I might buy the sequel when it's on sale and play it. I mean, I have PlayStation Premium, and so I could try out the little demo they give you. But I'm just like,
how much is premium?
Premium for us is like, I don't even know, a month.
Yeah,
it's probably
it's like 70, I think, right? 70, 80.
No, I looked on my PlayStation. It's like $110 a month.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for premium here, it's like, I think I paid like 120. But that was for the full year.
I think
I don't know if I want to pay that much.
Oh,
yeah.
I paid I paid for the other one first. I paid for extra, then I paid for premium because there was a sale, and I just bought premium.
I think
I mean, speaking about PlayStation, I guess we can jump in and start talking about their lineup for this year because it's quite interesting. What's up, Albert? I just want to highlight some people coming in. I haven't gotten to Final Fantasy, so I really want to play the old ones before I even touch. Like, I bought Final Fantasy the remake, but I never played 7. So, and I do like the old JRPGs. So, thanks for the recommendation and for stopping by, Albert. So I just want to. We got a list here. It's not a big list for PlayStation this year. I mean, they could announce new things. I don't even know if Silent Hill 2 is going to come out this year. It might, so who knows? But this is their exclusive lineup right now. It's Forspoken, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, and the new Horizon VR game, which is called Call of the Mountain. So, what do you guys think about this lineup? Is this a solid lineup? Are you anticipating other games? What's your thoughts, Aaron?
What was that? 'Cause I was checking it. Actually,
Oh,
I was checking the premium here. It's actually $140 a year.
it's 104. Then that's what I paid. Then it was expensive.
Wow.
I paid for the whole year. I was like, God damn. But I was saying the exclusive lineup for Sony this year. We have Forspoken, Final Fantasy VII, the second part, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, and
Well,
Horizon VR.
well,
You think it's a solid lineup?
Yeah, it's a solid lineup. Very solid. Forspoken, I heard that people are really into. I mean, Final Fantasy will always do good. Final Fantasy has a strong fan base. It's been a really long time since we got another Final Fantasy game that's not like a remake from Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last.
It's been
year.
like seven years since Final Fantasy 15
and usually they don't go that long between, numbers.
releases. Yeah.
And there's a Final Fantasy has a big fan base. I know some people don't like to change the combat. I don't mind it. I actually kind of liked it. It's not it's not exactly all turn based, but I think honestly, the big game for PlayStation is always gonna be Spider-Man too.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's obviously going to ignore Forspoken. I mean, the Forspoken demo came out. Did anybody play that? I know it came out
I know
like a
one
while
person who
ago.
played it. He's in my chat sometimes.
Oh.
Degrassi does.
Degrassi played it. I mean, if he might stop by if he's here, but
yeah,
I never bothered playing Forspoken. I wasn't. The trailers and when it first got revealed, I wasn't interested. And I think as it's progressed,
that it looks interesting. Yeah. Maybe I'll buy it.
Yeah, it's not. It comes out what I want to say next week. Is it next week? It comes out this month.
Forspoken
comes out this month.
I thought it was in February.
It's in February.
January 24.
Oh, they delayed it? No, it says January 24th.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was February. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, so the following week.
Yeah, the week after.
I don't think it's even going to get.
Like the combat looks interesting, the fighting and everything with that. Maybe I'll give it a try.
To be honest, it looks like a game that we're gonna forget about in like a month.
I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, I saw some gameplay. But the thing that I was like, that's really weird is like the dialogue, because there's a part where she's talking to like a merchant or something, or I don't know if it's a quest giver, and it looks so 2007, like that old Mass Effect. Like it was like very like it looked so poorly done. Whereas like when I look at Horizon, even though I'm not much into Horizon, but Forbidden West, what they're able to do with conversations when you talk in that dialogue tree was just like an innovation, because like usually it's just like your character's just standing and they're just talking and you can choose what you want to say, and it looked really bad. And I was like that's really weird that it looks that really, like it looks very bad.
It looks rough.
It looks rough, but the combat might be the best thing in the game, maybe, right? Like I don't know. I might be
it might just be the graphics. That might just be the best part of the game.
Like it looks fine for a game. It's just it might not be remembered very well. Like you play and people forget about it.
Yeah, story. Also, you got to think about the story. Like, how's the story going to play out? Because I doubt it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be it's going to come off really stupid. That's what I feel like.
I'm expecting I'm expecting like anything lower than an 80 on Metacritic. I don't think this is going to be. I don't even think it's going to get an 80. I think it's going to get like a 76, 77. Yeah.
Maybe like a low 70.
It's just that type of game. But as for the other Final Fantasy games, I mean, and this is what I was saying. I don't think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out. It's slated for the end of this year, but like, there's a rumor that aren't they remaking? I want to say Final Fantasy 8.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, and they're supposed to do a reveal next month or something for the anniversary. So I don't know if they want to release all these Final Fantasy games all at once, right? I mean, like,
No, they shouldn't.
they shouldn't. It just doesn't make sense. Like,
I mean,
putting 16, which is the big game, and then
16 should have
7.
come out a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
16.
think-
I feel 16 should have come out last year.
Yeah.
And also, people can't play all the games at once.
Yeah,
and they're big, right? They're big games. So it's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, how am I gonna play all these freaking games this year?
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
and isn't Spider-Man coming at the end of December?
Yes. Well, it's slated for fall, so September to November, I guess. That's the window.
It's rumored to be December.
If it comes
Really?
out, I can't see it coming out in December. I would assume
Here's
it
the
would come
thing.
out in November.
Here's the thing: a lot of video games do come out during that season, but they usually don't come out in December. They usually come out October and in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to put your game right out in December. Like, to me, if you put a game out in December, it's usually a red flag,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you look at all the past release, like last year, Callisto Protocol came out in December, not a good look. And then obviously Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite got good reviews, but still. And then obviously Cyberpunk.
And Halo Infinite, you could get on Game Pass. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I play that on Game Pass.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't pay for that. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
of
not
course.
mention Cyberpunk.
I ain't paying for that. No.
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think about Spider-Man anyway? Like,
I mean, I'm
we've gotten
excited
2 Spider-Man
for it.
games.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see gameplay pretty soon. I'm hoping I know like E3 is not as big as once was. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not like a convention or anything like that anymore. It's mostly presentation. I hope for Sony if they show some gameplay and like update on that game because they're still planning for release, right? If it's released, they're planning for this. They gotta show us something, right? 'Cause if they don't show us
Yeah.
anything at E3, it's gonna be delayed.
I don't.
I don't think it's going to get delayed
I
though,
don't think.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's think with God of War Ragnarok, they barely like the gameplay was really shown near the release month, right? Where I
Yeah.
think it was like that Game Informer was showing off some gameplay, but like I think the reason was because it's like you know what to kind of expect. It's just like a better version of the original game. So like Spider-Man 2, knowing that it's only for PS5 and maybe there's like certain enhancements that are going to be made to the combat, to the movement, but it's kind of like you maybe you already kind of know what to expect in a way,
Please.
but maybe that's why
Yeah.
they're not
At
really.
least
Like
I'm really-
video games, now usually show more things closer to the release date.
release date.
Yeah, it might be it. I might be waiting for yeah. I
And
think they're
please,
gonna
please, if they show us a presentation, don't show us a lot of villains. Okay, just show us a couple. Like you do Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah, tease your villain. So
Yeah.
I don't even think it's going to be weird, right? Because we assume that the symbiote is going to be in the game, like you
Yeah, of
actually playing as Black Suit Spider-Man. So I'm going to assume that they're going to show that at least because that's going to be a new mechanic in the game.
Mhm.
But I can't really see them showing off Venom, especially if Venom is like if it's like Dr. Octopus. I mean, they showed him because we know, okay, yeah, they didn't want to show off the black suit right away. So it makes sense to show off Venom, but like you don't want to show off a fight scene with Venom. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. But like what other mechanics, I guess, are you guys expecting? Like, are you guys expecting co-op? Because I feel like I would want a game,
That would be
a Spider-Man game with
Like
co-op.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because you have 2 Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, 2 Spider-Man.
Yes.
So you have Miles and you have Peter, and they kind
And-
of play. Yeah.
And
You
can,
were
they
saying?
can they take away the Mary Jane stuff? That was kind of boring.
Yeah, I think they are going to take that away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Miles didn't have that.
I mean, I didn't mind Mary Jane being, like active and investigating, like that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
like she's like how the movies don't portray her, like how Kristen Dunst is the opposite of that. I like Mary Jane like that, but I don't want to play as her.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No, I get that totally. Because like I like
100%.
her character, but the gameplay it's so
Yeah.
boring. It's like that
The
Miles
stealth-
gameplay.
the
from the
stealth
first
missions, no.
Yeah, her stealth
No,
missions
yeah.
are terrible. I was like,
that's-
why? I want to just play Spider-Man, man. I don't want to play as Mary Jane. You know, it's stupid.
Like,
It's
I think Mary Jane will still be in the story though, but
course.
yeah, she's
Mhm.
integral to his story. So you know,
Would
in the
you
first
guys
one.
want to
Absolutely not.
see Gwen get introduced? Because I feel like they're holding back Gwen because they're gonna do Spider
Spider
Gwen.
Gwen, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
yeah.
What
what I
about
think.
Black
For
coming
my,
back?
she might be
Say it again?
Miles's age too.
Black Cat. Because
I think Black Cat's gonna come back.
Yeah, because you don't know if she's dead or alive, right? Because like if you play
Yeah.
the DLC, you
Well,
think she's dead.
there's an interesting rumor because, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I know we were talking about co-op, but there was a rumor that was saying that someone kind of like dug up some files and like I want to say it was like Spider-Man Remastered, and there were some files that were pointing toward the second game, and it's was saying that like in the second game you actually might play as three characters, so it would be Spider-Man, obviously Peter, Miles, and then there's a third character which um a lot of people were expecting was the cop from the original game because as you guys know she's a villain in the comics. I'm blanking on
She
the
I
does.
think
villain
you
that she
told me
is,
that.
but
I
I
think
didn't
she
know that
does
until
become
you
a
told me
villain. I
that.
think she's
she
in the DLC.
she does
Yeah,
she does turn into a villain in the DLC, but
yeah. It's
um
crazy.
it would be interesting if they had, I mean she's obviously going to be in the game,
You know what?
I would
Make
assume.
us play as if Black Cat comes to the game. Make it
You
play as
mean
Black Cat.
you mean Yuri or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah, Yuri.
Yuri.
Yeah, she does become a
Yes.
villain. Make us play as Black Cat if she comes back.
I'm trying to figure out what villain she becomes because
Yes, she does. Become a
she's
villain.
not, it's a I want to say it's a Dan Slott character. It's like fairly recent, so I'm probably like blanking on the character's name, but like in the files they were mentioning this character, right? And it's like, well, that's Yuri's character, right? So does that mean we get to play as her, or is this like a placeholder for somebody else, right? So
Yeah.
I just
Let me
felt like
let me
bringing
find
that
it.
up because it might be
She
interesting.
becomes
Wraith.
Is it Race or
Wraith.
Wraith?
No, she
Yeah.
doesn't become that. She becomes, it says, Lady Deathstrike.
Well, Lady Deathstrike's a different character.
No, that's different.
I don't know. It's Google. It
Lady
says
Deathstrike's
that.
X-Men.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
X-Men.
Oh no, Wrath.
Wrath. Yes, that's the character's name. I'm totally
Wrath?
blanking
What
it.
is
No,
Yes.
Wraith. That doesn't spell. That's Wraith.
Wraith,
That is
Wrath.
Wraith.
Wrath would be W R.
Oh yes, it's got an I in it. It's got an I.
Yeah, Wraith.
Yeah, it's
whatever
Wraith.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this character. I mean, there's.
I don't know.
Is this character? I'm getting like conflicting things now.
She's
I have to do my research because I don't know
Isn't she
anything
more
about
an
this character.
anti-hero than a plus villain?
Yes, that's the reason why
Yeah.
you might be able to play as her because she's an anti-hero and not a outright villain.
Yeah, she is kind of new. Dan Slott, yeah. She's about a decade old, a little bit over a
It
decade.
says a
Mhm.
little bit that she uses some. She used some of Mysterio's equipment and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Well, I think Mysterio's going to be in the game. I mean, they hinted at him in the first game. He's a major
Yeah.
villain. I mean, since that first game, Mysterio showed up in a movie, so they're going to have to put Mysterio in this game. I feel
I
like.
love to see Mysterio. Do it.
Yeah, they should, and it has to be. I'm going to say this here. I want it to be from the original Spider-Man game. You know where you got he's this giant, and you got the wings, and you got to.
Yeah.
They have to do it like that because that would be really cool. So, but anyway, moving on from Spider-Man. I know we love Spider-Man.
Can't become a Spider-Man topic.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to move on. But I did want to talk about PlayStation VR just a little bit because it is coming out next month. And what do you guys think? Because I'm thinking this is gonna be a flop.
I'm not buying it. I don't do
I
VR.
never. Yeah. I never use VR, so I have really nothing
Yeah.
on VR. So, I mean, it looks VR. You know, there's some cool games on VR. You know, to play like the Walking Dead game.
Mhm.
Like, that's pretty cool. But like a Horizon VR game, I don't really care about Horizon all that much. So it's like I don't really care. But
I want to try VR, like the PlayStation VR, I should say, because I already tried VR and I feel like it hasn't reached its full potential yet, obviously, but I don't know. I feel like it's a big ask to get people to buy this after buying a PlayStation 5, which is already expensive enough. I mean, here in Canada, it's like almost like $700 now.
Yes.
Yeah, it got more expensive, right? Because of
Yes.
because Sony, like I think it's $20 or something, right? Like 20. Something
Yeah,
like that,
for I
60.
know Arkham's you're in the US, right? So it
According
didn't
to
go up for you.
GameSpot, it's like $750.
Yeah, I'm in the US, so it just cost me. It cost me like 500.
Yeah, but for us here, us three, we're
500
in
is not
Canada.
750 Canadian. I'm sorry. Like I know
Yeah,
the exchange rate is bad. The Canadian US dollar is bad for us Canadians, but I'm sorry, it's not still $250 more.
yeah. I mean, and Albert here says for whatever reasons, consumers are buying Oculus than PlayStation
I
VRs.
don't.
I
I
mean, the
don't.
first PlayStation VR did okay, but
I-
I think the problem with this new PlayStation VR is that um it's way too expensive. I know it's bleeding edge. That's the thing. It's bleeding edge. It's got OLED screens. It's got all this tech in it that the Oculus and the Rift doesn't have, or the Vive or whatever it's
What's
called.
bleeding edge?
I think it's
The
somewhere.
PlayStation VR, in terms of just like a VR headset, it's spec'd out better than the competition.
I think it's sell more copies if they made it cheaper.
Yeah, it costs the same amount as a PlayStation here for us. It's like why would you buy
Yeah.
that?
It's
doesn't make
more
sense.
expensive, right, than a PlayStation 5. So it's like, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and you're
It's
getting
insane.
and there's no backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
There's
yikes.
the games I feel like are not there yet, right? If they said something like you can play Spider-Man in VR, right? That'd be
That'd be
interesting.
insane. It'd be crazy because you had to change the game because you had to play in first person, right?
Yeah, you would
You're
have to
playing-
add a first. I'm still waiting for them to do that. I feel like that's eventually going to happen, but
You know, it's-
as of right now, I don't know.
I
For
feel like the
me-
VR, yeah.
Yeah, what was?
I'll just say. Well, I'll just say. I was gonna say that I just think the VR is a good opportunity for them to bring in like a new IP, right? Because they're making VR games based on stuff that's already there, like Horizon. I think the last one was like a Batman one or something. Like I don't know, it was years ago.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, that was
Batman.
Batman.
Batman
Yeah,
Arkham VR.
yeah, and they could really go for some new IPs because they're just making like Horizon, God of War, Spider-Man. Because Final Fantasy is Square Enix, right? Like I can't really think of a PlayStation exclusive that's like, it's like super unique and different. Like I'm thinking like VR is a good chance for them to do something really different for a new IP. So I mean, they could do that. I mean, they could bring back something like Killzone. Like Killzone is dead, so like you could bring Killzone back through VR, right? Like a first-person shooter into VR.
Killzone was one of my first games for the PS3. I think it was a launch title.
Yeah. What was
Killzone?
that? Was that Killzone 3?
No, I think
for
Killzone
PS4,
2
yeah.
came out. Killzone 2 came out in 2008. So that's like 2 years after.
No, 3. Yeah, 3 was like a PS4 launch title, right?
No, that's Killzone
Shadowfall.
Yeah,
I think that's Killzone
3.
4. That's
yeah,
like
I got
Killzone
that.
4.
I got that for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, you know. I mean, this is going on a little tangent, but I never got to beat that game because I played it on hard. and if you play this game on hard, okay, and I'm not, this is not like get good situation. I'm not shit at games, but like I play this on hard, and the ending is broken. I can't beat that game, and I'm looking this up, and other people are saying this too. That game is broken. Like once you get to the last mission, I would say don't play that game on hard.
I was watching Angry, like a long time ago, when I think Angry Joe was reviewing it. I think he mentioned it too, like how that last part was so hard. I'm like, oh geez,
on hard,
and
mode.
I think he was playing on normal, so I think it's even like hard on normal because he was complaining about that one part. And I'm like, oh shit. So
yeah, it's broken.
Must be terrible game design or something.
Killzone broken or something?
Yeah, Killzone Shadowfall on the PS4. Because otherwise it's a good game. I enjoyed it.
It is a good game.
I think with VR, like VR, like I could never get into it or something like that. But like I think VR is specifically for, I guess, that specific kind of demographic that likes virtual reality.
Yeah,
like,
I do
think it will be a success. Like I don't think it's gonna be a huge success like the PlayStation 5, but it'll probably just be like okay success for people that like virtual reality and etc.
Yeah, Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
niche thing, but I think PlayStation is trying to make it mainstream.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
This thing is like VR, like I'd be into it if I had like the money to go buy it. And I'm like, it's so expensive that I'm just like, you know what, I'm okay with just playing my PlayStation. You know, I don't need
Yeah.
to go buy VR. If it was cheaper, then yeah, it would definitely be a thing that I would definitely seek and go and play because it does seem really cool to actually
Mhm.
play a VR game. But like, yeah, the amount of money you have to put into it, and then you have to have an area just for VR in your house. I don't know, right? It's like there's too many
Yeah, I
things.
don't have the space.
You
The
don't have the
space
space,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's just not enough space for VR. It's in my house, you know. I just got don't get the space for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't see myself playing VR, and I mean I would
Yeah.
want to, but like,
Mhm.
unfortunately I can't because I just don't have the stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like with PlayStation VR and other VRs, I think they're all expensive.
too
Yeah.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
Like I want to like it looks cool, and I played it once. Like I didn't play the PlayStation VR, but I played it once with my friend. It looks cool, but it doesn't seem like something I would play all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think that's the I think problem with VR is like it's something that you would play once in a while, but it doesn't seem like something you play all the time, like when you play on your PlayStation console.
Yeah. Yeah.
It also kind of seems like something that can make you like sick, like motion sick, or like cause
Oh
headaches
yeah,
too.
Yes.
Like it just looks like it could do that. Cause like, yeah, you're in
Yeah.
the game and like you have to like move around. And you're just like, yeah, it just, yeah, I feel like it'll give you a headache in like 2 hours or something, you know.
and you
So
could trip over
Mhm.
shit and stuff.
trip
like that.
over shit unless you could
Yep.
just sit down. The game
Hit
doesn't
the
really
wall.
require, yeah, like you just bash someone in the head by accident or something. Like, yeah, like VR.
Yeah,
It does seem like it could be fun, but like, yeah, like physically as a person, if you're playing on a headset, you put that thing on your head and you're playing for like what 2 hours, like yeah, I
Mm.
definitely see that something's gonna happen.
Well, you know what's
probably can't
fun?
go.
That's probably better.
Yeah,
The Last
What?
of Us.
Last of Us VR.
Well, I'm just saying to transition.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys think this year we'll get like a Last of Us 3 announcement or even another Last of Us 2 edition? Because
Mm.
this is the one thing I kind of want. I want them to announce both of
I'm
those things, if I'm being honest.
I think they probably will because I think it's also because like this year, like what's the game that's really going to sell the most from Sony? It's Spider-Man. So it's like if you think about like what they have to offer, like yes, I know for some people it's a stronger year, but like for others it's like, oh, I'm just going to buy Spider-Man, you know. So it's like they want to, you know, of course, market their games are coming. They want to, hey, we still got stuff coming in. I think announcing Last of Us Part 3 and then also releasing a Last of Us Part 2 next gen version. I think it's a smart move by Sony to do that this year.
Yeah. Even though a lot
Yeah.
of people don't
Well,
like
what do you
that.
think, Aaron?
I don't know about 3, but maybe a PlayStation 5 for remake. I don't know version.
I mean, we got the PlayStation 5 Last was
Yeah.
2 because I'm only suggesting that because Last was 2 does work on PS5, but they actually retracted a patch for the game, which is very suspicious. You don't normally do that, right? Like,
I didn't even know about this. Yeah.
yes, they retracted a patch and they took down the video talking about the patch. So that leads me to believe that The Last of Us 2 is getting a director's cut or a PlayStation 5 edition that is going to be sold. I mean, we're also supposed to be getting factions. I don't know if you guys are interested
Oh
in
yeah, I
that.
remember that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
you
can
know.
see it. Like I can see them doing, I can see them doing Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 5 and announcing the Last of Us 3. Like they'll probably do Last of Us 3. But like hopefully it's better received than the last one. Like the Last of Us 2 is like so divisive and stuff like that. It's like not very well received.
Well, I mean, it's still
Pretty
I mean, it's not
close,
selling as well as the first game, but the first game came out on 2 consoles, and the first game was
Well,
on
3
PS3.
now, if you think about it, because Part 1,
yeah,
right, the
well,
remake.
but at the time it came out on
Oh
2
yeah,
consoles, And then, on the PS3, it was like the best selling game on PS3 in terms of exclusive wise. Right.
And the best looking, too.
So as much as people like to say
Nice.
the second game, is divisive, I think it's I think with time the game it'll like dissipate. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean,
what's
I
up,
loved
Tony?
the second game, so
I was busy last night. I'll show up next week. I'll make a promise. I'll show up.
I'll make a promise.
Oh, don't. He's gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, I mean, where was Bob? Where was Bob?
Yeah,
Bob's been missing. I miss Bob. So, anyway,
good spot for this stream.
So, what was the next thing? You see, now I have a blunder. I didn't want to have a blunder.
Well, one thing about The Last of Us Part 3, though, the reason why I also think they're going to announce it this year is also because the show comes out later tonight. And the thing is, if they're making a show, they want, they're making seasons. If the third game isn't out yet, they can't make that season. So it's like, I feel like the original plan was to not release the game. Like, they're probably going to do something else and then Last of Us Part 3. But I think with the show coming out, they're kind of like, oh shit, we kind of have to get Last of Us Part 3 out.
I hope the first season is not the whole game of the first game. Like, hopefully, it's not the first season is not the whole first game. I don't think you need to do that with a TV series.
I could see what's it called after the show is done.
Don't make it like a Game of Thrones situation.
Oh, you just rush everything.
Well, just to keep things short, I think one of the show writers, Craig Manson, he kind of hinted that the second game is going to get split up, which
makes sense because the second game, first of all, is so long, and the way they told the story, it's like you're playing the same, like you're playing a different perspective, right? There's like a split. You beat someone's kind of like their story and then someone else's story, right? So it's like it's so long that you kind of need a split. It's just way too long to tell that story.
You could do a 2-parter game where you have like Last of Us 3 Part 1 and then Part 2.
It's gonna be a big ass game.
That's the beautiful of doing TV shows with games that have a long narrative, is that you don't need to do one season of the whole first game or whatever for any kind of game.
Well, I think for The Last of Us, though, I think the first season should be the first game because like that ending is what really elevates The Last of Us. And I feel like without that ending in the first season, like I don't know who's going to really come back because it's like that ending is like what makes you go, oh my God, like that was insane, right? And you just want to know what happens next. You're like, well, where can this go? Because like you didn't expect that from that ending. And like that's what like I think that's why like the first season kind of definitely I feel like it should just be the first game. And then the second season could be like like they could do whatever they want at that point because that game is so long that telling that story, I think they're going to change up a lot of stuff just to say that to present that story in a medium that's TV show because like in a game, like you can do that in a game, but in a TV show, it's like, it's
and also too, I think looking back, as much as I do like The Last of Us 2, I think there is some flaws that you could change for the screen. I think there is probably, I think the best way is probably softening Joel's death a little bit because I mean like people can't get over this, and I feel like if you like not to give in, but like at least you have to keep that part of the story because that is part of the story, right? But
it's important.
It's important to the story. It's important to Ellie. It's important to Abby because Abby does have an arc, right? She gets redeemed at the ending of the game for what she did to Joel, right? And the game, I know a lot of people like to say that the game hates Joel. That's not true. That's never true. If you sit down and play the game, the game makes it explicitly clear that the game is about Joel. It's just that he's not the main character. He's not the protagonist anymore.
Yeah, the game is about Joel because everything that happens is because of his death, right?
Yes.
And it's also because it's like it shows the best side of Joel as a person because you see all the good parts of him that makes him human. Whereas like in the first game, he's that part of him it slowly comes out because you see it, and then you see a hardened man softening up to this kid who he sees as his daughter eventually. But in the second game, you see them as father and daughter, and you see that connection, and that's what makes it hurt more. And he's like, you're like, oh, like there is. So it's like, yeah. So yeah.
Tony's gonna have to come on because I feel like Tony has been like flip flopping. Like 1 minute, I hear him say, "Yeah, The Last of Us, it got a lot of hate," and then he goes, "That other video that you posted with the DMCA." Yeah, no, I'm joking, but still, I want to hear his thoughts on it.
Joel did kill Abby's father, right?
I mean, I listen. The game makes it very clear that your frustrations toward her killing Joel, that is justified. That actually makes sense, right? And I think a lot of people, I think the game doesn't go further enough to like really reconcile with that, right? And so I think the show has a better chance at kind of patching things up and actually making people like Abby, because I do like Abby. She has, I know what people are going to say. It's all like, hey, they try to give her the best stuff in the game, the best sequences, the best, gear. I get that point, but like, listen, she's still a good character, especially when she's introduced to Lev, and you start to see like she's not like her friends. And I also feel like they could change her friends as well. But yeah, what's up, Hammock Man? This is another person where you're like, I'm used to calling you by your other name, so when I see your new name, it's like I'm not used to it. But anyway,
speaking of her friends, though, I think the friend that I hate the most is probably Mel. I thought she was so irritating.
Yeah,
like the guy's girlfriend. Yeah, she was. I was like, just shut the fuck up. At the end of the game, when she was talking so much shit, I was like, yo, this bitch sucks. I'm happy she got killed. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Died,
Mel, Manny, all of them were
like,
pieces
I
of
didn't
shit,
hate Manny. Like, I was like, whatever. Like, he just like his character is just like I fuck bitches. That's his character, and like he's really a cool guy. But like, you don't see much of the other girl, the one that works in the hospital. You don't see much of her. But Mel, you see so much of that. I'm like, I hate Mel because she just doesn't like. You can see Abby's trying to be better, but then she just shits on Abby. It's like, you just shut the fuck up. I hate you. Like, you're so annoying. Go get a life. Just die.
Pretty much. Anyway, we got to move on to Nintendo. At the Nintendo, I know we got two people here that I know you didn't play The Last of Us, but I mean, still, it's still like most people have an opinion on it, regardless if they played it or not, especially that second game. But I know you didn't play it.
I think the reason, like, before we move on, like, I think the main reason not a lot of people like the second is because, when you have two playable characters, I think that you had more playtime with Abby over the other character. That's what some people feel.
I also think it's because like you're playing as Ellie right after Joel's death, so you like Ellie, so you're like, I'm gonna kill Abby, but then you have to play as Abby. You're like, I don't want to play as Abby. I fucking hate this bitch. So it's like that's what discourages you to play as Abby. So that's why, like, I guess piss people off. Like, I don't want to play as this character. She killed Joel.
Come on.
Yeah, you don't want to play as the villain, but she's not a cool villain too. That's the thing.
Yeah, she's not the villain. Right? She's really not the villain.
Oh man, you're like, at this point, like almost 3 years late.
Yeah,
that's crazy to say.
Too bad.
3 years ago.
Too bad, man.
Too bad. So sad.
Ares dies in Final Fantasy 7, right, Tony?
Of course he knows that. That guy. Of course, Tony's gonna know that. Okay, and now I want to talk about Nintendo. I know two people here on this panel, they don't really care all that much. It's mostly me and Aaron who really care about Nintendo. Like, we you know what I mean? We like Nintendo. I prefer Nintendo.
I'm a PlayStation guy, but I do like Nintendo. Yeah.
I listen, if you held me at gunpoint, I might pick Nintendo. Okay. I think
he's definitely picking Nintendo.
Most people know this. I will pick Nintendo. Yes. Even though, some people here, they think I'm a Sony fanboy, but
he's a Nintendo. He's definitely he was Sony drone once, Sony pony once, but now he's a Nintendo.
Yeah,
his true
and
colors have been shown.
I'm not on the other side, the green side, even though I got an Xbox. Anyway, I just to keep
I'm
things,
always an Xbox.
I like
Never
Xbox
stop.
too. I'm so like
Fuck.
I don't hate any console.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
the
I've
one big
always been
thing with
Xbox.
Nintendo right now is
Yeah.
the Switch 2, the Switch Pro. I know Zelda's coming out. There's a bunch of games. We got Fire Emblem. Advance Wars is supposed to come out. Who knows when that's going to come out? It keeps getting delayed. Pikmin 4, Kirby's got a remake, Bayonetta's got a prequel game. There's a lot of games coming out for the Switch, but every time I'm on Twitter, right, I'm not sure if Aaron could attest to this, but you always see people complaining about the Switch. They're saying the Switch is underpowered, the Switch sucks, we need a new Switch. But do we actually need a new Switch? Because this year marks, and this is going to be crazy to say, but this marks 6 years since the Switch launched.
March. Years,
That's a long time.
Which is a long time.
I remember how hard. I remember when the Switch was announced like in December for sale, because it was December of 2016. The Switch went up for sale. I remember it was hard to get one, really, really hard.
Yeah, it was. This was their redemption arc.
Yeah,
and I feel like
for the
Wii U. No, listen, I hear it on YouTube too. It's annoying. I agree with you, but I see it everywhere. You go on Reddit, people are saying it. I mean, to the point where now, if you talk to someone in real life, someone actually might bring that up too, where it's like, oh yeah, I like the Switch, but the Switch is underpowered, right? And it's like, listen, Nintendo has sort of gone away from making a powerful console. Their last console that was on par with their competition was the GameCube.
That's not what they go for.
Yeah, they don't go for that anymore. But
because their systems sell.
Their systems sell and they don't sell.
Okay.
Well, the GameCube didn't sell too. The GameCube didn't sell as well, right? So it's like they always go back and forth, right?
Take her time.
All right. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Tony.
You gotta come on sometime.
Yeah, and then when we have Marvel stuff, I'm gonna bring on Tony because Tony will school us. But anyway,
I think there's a lot of reasons though the GameCube maybe didn't sell because I think social, if you think about it, the GameCube was when you see the GameCube, you're like that's a kiddie console, and people were talking about PS2 and the PS2 everyone bought a PS2.
And the GameCube came out, and also not the PS2, the GameCube came out with the first Xbox too.
2001 or something, or something. I don't remember. Yeah. But again, the Xbox was a new thing. But if you're saying people that normally just buy consoles, they look at the Xbox, they go, "Hey, that looks cooler than a GameCube, so I'll buy that." Right?
Whereas and it had more interesting games as well. I feel
Blind Bill was getting attacked for his GameCube takes.
Well, yeah, I got attacked on Twitter from a bunch of people. I'm not talking about 4 or 5 people. I got. Too. Yeah, verified accounts, people. I mean, well, that one verified account she was joking. But I mean, a lot of people were hounding on me. I had a list of quote tweets from people saying the GameCube didn't fail. The GameCube didn't fail. The GameCube didn't.
It's a less than the Xbox.
Listen. It didn't sell well. I'm not saying the GameCube is a failure. The GameCube has amazing games, right? But it's not on paper. It did not sell well. I mean, Wind Waker didn't even sell well. Right, we never got a sequel to Wind Waker, and it's because it didn't sell very well. Right? Yeah, I know we didn't get sequels to Twilight Princess, but I'm sure at one point in development there was a sequel to Twilight Princess.
Didn't Wind Waker technically save Zelda? Because that was I remember. No. But that was but I was looking up the I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was the director or whatever it was, but he said that Wind Waker. Oh, not Wind Waker. Sorry, I was thinking about. You're right. Sorry, I was thinking about Twilight Princess. I'll take
Twilight Princess
that was the game. That was the game that saved Zelda.
Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker as a game. It's a great game. Yeah. They should put it on Switch. Yeah. Right.
That was the game that people said this looks like a kiddie game. I ain't buying that shit, and they bought a PS2 or an Xbox. But, yeah. I think that was the game that that people didn't like, but then Twilight Princess was like, "Hey, no, we can make a adult Zelda game." Mm-hmm. So
I mean the thing is if you want to, the GameCube is very similar to the Switch if you think about it in the grand schemes of things. The only thing the Switch doesn't have is that it's still missing some key franchises, and I feel like if anything, that's the reason why we won't get a new Switch anytime soon. Like I could see, I think like 2024 will come. They'll announce a new console, but we'll still be getting games for the Switch because they like we don't have a Kid Icarus game, and I feel like they need to put a Kid Icarus game on the Switch because that franchise could be a Metroid franchise, in my opinion. Right? It's very similar to what Sony's putting out, and the last game was on the 3DS, but it came out at a really bad time. It came out at the beginning of the 3DS, and a lot of people didn't own a 3DS at that time. So it's like, and I feel like I'm not sure. Did you play that game, Aaron, or
Which
do you
one?
even Kid Icarus Uprising? It was
No.
on the 3DS.
No.
It's this game is like one of Nintendo's most underrated game in like the last 10 years because it's almost like an action 3D third person shooter, right? It's also an on rail shooter too. So it's like, and it's a franchise that a lot of people they forget, right? Like Kid Icarus was on the NES, and then that was it.
I never played it.
Yeah, I mean, whenever this game, I know Arkham, you're not like too big on Nintendo,
No,
but like,
I played Nintendo. Like I had some consoles with Nintendo and played some games and stuff like that.
okay,
But it was mostly like Mario or freaking
yeah,
Zelda and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, like if I'm not sure, do you have a Switch?
No.
I mean, if you were to get, like in my opinion, like a recommendation, like if you were more of a PlayStation guy and Kid Icarus comes out on the Switch, I would say you should play that game because that game is very similar to what PlayStation is putting out. It's just that it's like it's a little bit more mature for a Nintendo game, right? I think it's like teen rated. Obviously there's not a lot of blood. There's no blood in it, but there is a lot of action in it. And it's dealing with the Greek gods and all that stuff like that.
That,
So
that sounds interesting.
but you play as the Icarus as when he's kind of like a teenager, right? And so he has to kind of like stop. It's I won't say it's like God of War, but it has very veins of that. It's just in the Nintendo style. That's how I would describe it, at least.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Nintendo this year, I feel like Nintendo's going to kill it. If we're just going to be, keep things moving along, because I know I want to talk about Xbox and obviously the Suicide
Let's
Squad.
talk about Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox. I don't know how you guys feel about
the
Xbox
best
right now.
box.
Trash box.
I've had every single Xbox, since I was a kid. So I'm always an Xbox, but like Xbox, they got like the only exclusive they got this year is Starfield that I can really think of that I'll be playing. Because I don't think I'll be playing Redfall. And I don't care about Redfall. So
I might play Redfall. I mean, I didn't like Deathloop. I thought Deathloop was kind of overrated. I don't know why it got 10s. I feel like it was a rushed, cobbled together game. But it's I feel like the game could improve. And did you play Deathloop, Aaron, or like?
No, I was thinking about it when it was coming out, but I decided not to.
It's on Game Pass now.
I was thinking of getting for PlayStation, but if it's on Game Pass for free, yeah, maybe.
I mean, like, I would say check it out. Like, I wouldn't recommend beating it, but I would at least check it out because I feel like
Microsoft
don't recommend beating it.
Yeah, I don't recommend
Microsoft. They always have like one big exclusive a year, and that's it.
That's not very good.
Yeah, and this is what I want to bring up because this year, I feel like Xbox has a very big slate, right? Because even though PlayStation and Nintendo have their biggest games coming out, Microsoft has their biggest games coming out from most of the studios that they have acquired.
Yeah.
Right. So you got first off, you got Forza Motorsports. I'm not a big racing fan, but that's still a big game.
There's there's a big fan base for that.
Yeah, there's a big fan base for that, right? Hellblade 2, which got announced at this point almost 4 years ago.
I don't even think it's going to come out this year.
It has to come out because it's been 4 years. It's been literally 4 years.
Half of the time when
do you think they're going to delay it though? I mean, like,
I hope it doesn't get delayed.
They barely shown any of that game.
No, they showed we got it
Yeah, like a
once in
trailer.
2019, and then we got a second time where they showed gameplay. They showed
Yeah,
us gameplay
but
for this
it was
game.
just her running.
No, it
from
was
the
not
game.
running. It was not. This is hold on. No. It was not running, dude. This was like a
Dude,
full blown action.
Am I retarded? Because I remember her in it, like she's going in a cave or something. There's this giant monster. She comes out running with the other people, and
Yeah,
like
I think
that's
that's
all I
correct.
remember, yo. That's all I remember from Hellblade.
They showed this. They showed. This is 6-minute gameplay footage.
yeah.
When that come out?
What could you show in 6 minutes? Just her running.
They showed us
like,
gameplay. That was entirely
Yeah,
gameplay.
but
They told us that everything in the footage that when was this? This
sure
was at
that's
20.
gameplay,
This was
but like, I mean, was it?
I do
wasn't
somewhat
that
agree
interest?
because this is how I feel sometimes with Xbox. They announce a bunch of these shit, but half of the time it never comes on time.
yeah.
Like we can get this game and it won't come out until 2025.
Till we're all dead or something. But
Yeah.
Well, like
Well,
this is
dead.
how I feel sometimes with Xbox. They have this big slate, but they never release their games on time. Never.
or yeah, they just give dates and they never like actually like release the games on those dates, and sometimes they just
It's
don't
like
even talk.
movies.
Like yeah, well actually there's a leak. I don't know if you saw it, but today there's a leak about like there might be a Scalebound revival.
Yeah, that's
on,
been rumored this
Like
week.
it's cool to
I mean,
like show new games and stuff like that, but if you're not gonna freaking release the game, like, and you keep delaying it, like, when is this game gonna come out?
yeah, but it's also like they have so many studios. But can you
Yeah.
think about the games these studios have
And they
released?
want
And,
more,
like,
more.
They want
studios.
more.
yeah, they want
Sure.
more, but they don't release. It's like they take all they import all these studios into their Xbox ecosystem, but never export any game. Like, where are your games?
Yeah, that's
bro?
bad. Like, it's cool. You want another studio, blah blah blah, but
not
cool.
like
I don't think
you
it's
have
cool.
to release a freaking game.
I don't think
Like
it's
the
I don't
last.
think-
Yeah,
I
what
don't
were you
think
saying,
buying-
Aaron?
I don't think that buying studios is more and more studios is a good thing. It's not really
It's not like
No,
Well,
yeah.
they're less
not with
focusing
Xbox.
on releasing games, and they're more focusing on buying studios.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the
don't
last
like-
Xbox exclusive I played was Pentiment, and that was like a Game Pass game, right? And that was like what, like 8 hours? That was like
It's 8 hours. It's.
and it was okay.
I feel like that
mean,
game is lower than a AA game. It's made by a AAA studio, but
well,
I
it's a
didn't.
passion project. It wasn't really a. And
didn't
that, well,
care
to
for
be
it.
fair, like I said, they said the game was only made because of Game Pass,
Well,
because they couldn't
there's-
make that game without Game Pass.
I mean, there's a lot of other games coming out this year from Xbox, like Redfall. Fable is still rumored to come out this year. Starfield, obviously. I
Starfield's the
don't.
big
There's
one.
a big rumor about that game, but some people are debunking it, and they have a lot of inside sources, so I'm inclined to believe them.
Yeah.
But the Outer Worlds 2 is slated for this year, which makes sense because the game is now 4 years old.
Yeah,
And they
but
haven't-
they
they
haven't
haven't
even
put
released
out-
Avowed. They haven't even released Avowed. Or something.
Avowed is not coming out this year.
I don't think Outer Worlds.
Outer
Like,
Worlds
they-
2, in my opinion, based
That doesn't
on
seem likely
the scale of
this
the
year.
game and the fact that they already have a lot of the assets, I would assume that this game could
Yeah.
come out this year.
Hopefully,
in
like
some reality, this game could come out this year. Sorry, and then you have Everwild, which is the Rare game, which I like Rare in the past tense
In the past, yes.
because I want them to make a band. I like all the people who made Rare what it is, right? Like I know Aaron likes the Donkey Kong 64, right? And obviously Banjo Kazooie, Conquer. They made a lot of great platformers, and for some reason, they just Microsoft bought them for whatever reason, and they just sat on them. And I've
They
always
just
been
sat on them, yeah. They released like some, what was it, like Pinata, something Pinata.
yeah. The Viva Pinata games are actually kind of decent.
And then,
But
they
what was
released a really apparently the fans don't like it, right? That Banjo Kazooie nuts
The
and
nuts and bolts.
bolts.
Yeah.
It's
How-
okay. It's whatever.
how many Xbox games do you think will come out this year?
If we're being honest, Xbox published games, I would say 3.
3. That is not good.
would
That's
say,
Three
Three.
AAA. I will say
I would
three
say-
AAA. I will say Redfall, and I'll say Starfield, and then something we don't know. I'm thinking.
You count
There's a
Horizon.
rumor that they're making a Gears of War collection, but it's not clear when it's
Well,
coming
wouldn't
out.
the third one be Hellblade? Isn't Hellblade like a
I don't. Well,
AAA?
that's what I'm saying. If we're being honest here, I don't believe Hellblade 2 is going to come out. It's slated to come out this year, but I don't believe it's coming out this
Yeah.
year.
Okay. If we're saying that, yeah, like I had said that, they haven't shown much of it, so I would see them releasing it.
3 is good estimate. Like, I'll probably buy that because Microsoft is it has more priorities of buying studios than releasing games for some reason.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what were we
for
trying to say,
Xbox-
Aaron?
You wouldn't need to buy that. I think those games are coming out. I know
Pass.
Starfield is Game Pass, so
Yeah.
get Game
Don't buy it. I said Arkham World, don't buy it. Yeah, just go support because they actually just want your Game Pass subscription. That's what's going to make them their money. That's what the revenue's coming from.
That's their
what they
best
really want.
asset, really.
Yeah. And I definitely feel they're going to increase the price of Game Pass though, because like you get so much with Game Pass Ultimate
Yes.
that it's like a steal.
They'll
to be honest,
increase Game Pass after these games release, because this is also another thing I guess we can kind of touch on just a little bit, because I don't want this to go too long. I still want to keep it like an hour and 30 minutes, but which is the acquisition, the Activision merger. I had, like,
what a fun acquisition! It's hilarious. Oh, it's funny.
This
It's
whole
It is.
thing, this whole acquisition, in my opinion. What's up, Willie? I know you're going through some stuff, Willie. I won't bring this up here, but I hope you're doing okay, and always reach out if you feel like it. We already talked. I'm glad you stopped by, so I just wanted to say that in the show. So anyway, besides that, in my opinion, with this deal, I just want to say this. I think this deal is not going to go through just yet. I think it's going to be scrutinized, and I think that we're still going to hear about this even until June, which I think it was supposed to close in June.
Yeah.
But I think Sony is going to continue to push on this, and I think the FTC getting involved, even if they aren't successful, I think they're going to keep trying and trying.
Yeah.
And the thing is, do I want Microsoft to buy Activision?
No.
Yes and no. I feel like Activision as a company is a mess. They're having sexual assault allegations.
Oh,
the CEO is an absolute piece of garbage, right? They haven't been putting out good games, right?
No.
They Call of Duty, in my
Well,
opinion,
yes, in the sense of management, like the turnover.
Yeah.
maybe
the management. And this is why I also say no too, because the management part. Look at what Phil Spencer's been doing with Xbox. He's not been. I feel like Phil Spencer is the guy who's kind of the face of things, but when it comes to the back end business stuff, I don't think he's succeeding. I don't think he's really doing what he's promised. Xbox has been they keep talking about this since what I want to say it's been like 7 years. They keep going on and on about what games are coming out, and then the games don't come out, they get canceled. They there's so many games that were announced. I mean, like there was an Xbox franchise. They announced this game. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an old franchise that came out on the original Xbox. It got announced, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Scalebound. I'd be happy if Scalebound came back, right? Because I was excited for that game. I was like, I would buy an Xbox One for that game. The game never came out, so I never bought an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Right. Now this
that's the
generation, I bought a Series S. Right. I didn't buy an X.
Yeah.
Right. I do want to like Xbox. I did play the original Xbox. I didn't really play much on my 360, but Xbox, they can be great. They can be on par with Nintendo and PlayStation. But for some reason, they're just lagging behind. They have the money. There's no excuses.
It's mismanagement, really. It's how they interact with their properties and who they make, their IPs, who releases their IPs, and how they manage those IPs. Because I mean, technically, Phil Spencer, he put Xbox was dying, but like he put Xbox on life support. He gave it some life. But then it's like now, because like with Xbox One, like I felt like the only guy in my class that had an Xbox One, because everyone had PlayStation, right? So like they were really dying, but it's like they had some stuff that was coming through, like they had the backwards compatible stuff, they had like other stuff, but like it's on life support, right? Because like the fact that they even released a next gen console, right? It's like it's crazy, because like if you're in 2013, you just think, yo, Xbox, they did, because like they got nothing, right? They got the weaker console, they got no games, right? The 2014, like when 2015, 2016 was coming, when you get all those exclusive games from Sony, what was Xbox really throwing out? Gears, like just Gears and Forza. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you have all these studios, and Phil Spencer, like, you don't like, do you not walk to the studios and see what they're making? Do you not like to go and see what games that they're actually developing?
He's like the face, and he tells people what they want to hear, but like nothing really happens.
But
nothing happens. It's like he doesn't manage these studios. Like he doesn't go and play their games. He's like, what are they making?
What were you saying, Aaron?
He's like, Warner Brothers have no idea what to do.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good comparison. I feel like Microsoft and is like Warner Brothers, where they have all this potential. Right?
Yeah,
a lot of potential. They're sitting on this gold mine of IPs. They don't know what to do with it. And then they look at the competition and they go, oh, but PlayStation literally owns the market. What are we supposed to do?
They don't.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's so stupid, because the one thing that you could do is make video games.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Just make video games, please.
You got one of the biggest companies that makes, Elder
trillions
Scrolls,
of dollars.
Fallout,
Yes.
like you got that. It's like do something.
Their biggest game is a game that is a studio that they bought from like Bethesda. Bethesda was its own thing before Xbox came in. So their biggest game that comes out this year, Starfield, is a Bethesda game.
It's not that was in
game.
development before Xbox acquired them.
Exactly. So, and it was probably going to come out for the PS5, obviously, and all that. So it's like, yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, you have all these studios, and you just don't care? Just not care?
Are you just buying them because you're afraid Sony's going to buy them?
Sony?
I think
not even buying studios.
The thing is,
I know.
The thing is, there was a rumor that Sony was going to acquire the exclusive rights to Starfield. So Starfield would have been a PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? And then it turned out, Microsoft bought the whole company, right? So you know what I mean? Like, that's how bad it was when that whole, that was like now again almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
I think they're trying. I think Microsoft is trying to own the whole video game industry.
Yeah.
Almost.
They monopolize it. They're trying to monopolize it.
Yeah, they're trying to. And like with PlayStation, PlayStation really doesn't need all these companies. They just want to make good games, and they can't get good games.
Yeah.
Like that's what Microsoft should get in their playbook. Make good games. Don't buy all these companies. You don't need all of them if you're not releasing games.
They need to. This is what, if I was Phil Spencer, right? First off, they need to set deadlines. I think that the problem is that when they set deadlines, they get bad games, right? But they need to sit down and be like, okay, they need to do what PlayStation is doing, which is take something that already exists, make a quick game, and put it out. If it's not, it's okay if it's not a 50, 70 hour long game. Okay.
Yeah.
If once they had Bethesda and Obsidian, the first thing I would do is give Obsidian Fallout, make them make a quick Fallout game in the Fallout 4 engine, make it next gen, make it run 60 FPS. It doesn't need to look, it doesn't need to be cutting edge, right? And put that out there. And then you start building up your goodwill. And then you're like, okay, now we're going to go to ID. What are you doing with? Make a Quake game, make another Doom game. Do something where it's like these games are at least coming out within, 3 years of each other. Like, why are we waiting such a long time gap for certain games? Like when Starfield comes out, Elder Scrolls 6, that game is not going to come out for the next 5 to 6 years again.
They're milking the online Elder Scrolls
because they have nothing else. They have
The
nothing
game is
else with
doing
IP.
the game is doing really well online, so they're milking it.
Yeah,
That
that's
And they
takes
milk
a while.
Skyrim.
Like,
And then they're
they-
going to milk
Skyrim, they
Fallout
milked
4.
it. Did they
Like-
just release another thing for Skyrim or something
Yes.
recently? Like,
Yes.
Jesus,
Yes.
that game is milked to high
that game,
heaven.
has that game be like remade over and over and over?
Yeah,
It's not even a remake. It's like they're just taking the game, maybe like
enhancing a bit,
enhancing it a little bit, adding some
There you
stuff,
go.
and then re-releasing it. That's all they're
So
doing.
yeah,
They have like
Yeah,
new
basically.
quests and whatever, but it's like
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's the same
Yeah.
game.
yeah.
It's
over
the
and
same. It's the
over.
same game, And right now they're sitting on. If they get Activision again, they're sitting on a gold mine of IPs.
yeah.
You're going to
And they're
have
not gonna
to
do
do
shit
something,
with it.
and they're not going to exactly. This is. Listen, they have the most pressure because in the next 2 weeks they have a showcase, right? We don't
Yeah.
have a showcase from Nintendo or PlayStation. PlayStation
Yeah.
didn't even have a showcase last year, right?
No,
And in the showcase they're not showing Starfield, which I think is an L. I know that they said that they're going to have a
Yeah,
separate
it
show
has
for
its own
Starfield,
event.
but this is another thing I want to point out about Microsoft. Microsoft last year said at their show they're showing off games that are coming out within the next 12 months. Starfield was one of those games. If Starfield does not come out if it doesn't come out before June, and if it comes after June, then again, that's a lie that they told. And they have consistently lied over and over. Maybe it's not a bold-faced lie like they knew, it wasn't coming after June. But like, this is a lie. You told us something and it wasn't true.
Yeah.
they first told us it was supposed to come out in December of last year.
Of last
And-
year, yes.
Yeah,
When's the showcase for Microsoft anyway?
the 25th, I think.
The 25th, yeah.
Yeah. Even like say they have the like showcase like I have to be honest, when they say something at showcase, it's probably not gonna happen. Like they say, oh, this is gonna come out this year, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Willie says like he wants to see Activision classics get remastered. And
You know what?
yeah, there's a lot of games. There's a
They should-
Pitfall.
There's
I've been looking at
Pitfall.
Yeah.
Prototype is another game. That could come back if Xbox
Prototype.
revives it, because that's been dormant for since 2012.
I mean,
So why is
they could bring back Tony Hawk 2. I know we got the other two
Tony
Tony
Hawk,
Hawk
yeah,
games,
I mean-
but
They did a
Yeah, Tony
remake. Yeah, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. They did that.
Like Microsoft is on like they have all these IP studios and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but they don't do anything. Like the one thing I like about like PlayStation and Sony is you actually have the games that come out. The games actually come out.
Yeah. They actually release games, whereas Microsoft is just like, well, it's coming out next year. Doesn't come out. It's coming out next year. Doesn't come out. And then slowly you start seeing something. The games they announce, they never talk about ever
Hey, you
again.
know
They
what I
announce
like
some
about
other
Sony?
games, and then those games never get announced.
You know, like
Yeah,
this-
what were you saying,
You know what I
Aaron?
like about Sony? They don't announce dates prematurely.
Yeah, they don't.
yes, recently they've been
Yeah.
tightening
Mhm.
up.
They
Yes,
did have God of War because we didn't get to God of War for last year's game till September, October, the official release date.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it was delayed. It was.
Yeah.
I'm certain it was supposed to come out in September, and then they had to delay the game.
No, it was.
So-
I think it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to. It came,
September
yes,
I think
September.
originally though, I think it's supposed to come out 2022.
2021.
Yeah,
That's what they
20.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
2021. Sorry, I'm fucking stupid. I
it's
forgot.
pandemic,
We were.
we did change
Yeah.
it.
I don't know why, but I thought 2023 was like last year. It's so stupid. But I get so confused. But they're supposed to release in 2021, but they delayed it obviously, and then came out.
Yeah, it
2022.
was never going to come out in 2021. I mean, they always put the year, but I think it's better when they announce things closer to release date, and I think everybody knows what happens when you don't, right? You get a Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But moving on, I guess we did get to talk about PlayStation and Xbox, and I guess
Yes, we
now,
did.
we got to talk about it a lot, especially PlayStation. But I did want to end it off talking about some recent rumors of the Suicide Squad game because I know
That's not
that
true.
everybody here is passionate about that game and passionate about the IP. So
Yeah.
you know, I kind of want to hear your guys' thoughts because I know Arkham definitely
His name is
not a
Arkham.
fan.
He should be the most pissed
No,
off.
Yeah, I want to pull it up and kind of summarize it, just so like people on the replay or people that don't know. I know Willie's in the chat, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna
No,
Google
I'm
it
pretty sure
quick.
that leak is so fake, man. That leak has to be.
It
Some guy
It
had
has-
too much
it has
free
to be
time.
fake.
Yeah, he had too much free time. He was like, "Let me just write some bullshit."
Yeah, it
Maybe
feels
just
like
wants to
Yeah.
he wants to get everybody, ire about him. It's like, no.
it feels like a person that did fan fiction and spewed bullshit and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, dude. It just sounds so stupid. It's like,
Yeah. I mean,
that
so
whole cheesy
this is
ass
the
thing.
this is the rumor. I'm just gonna like skim through it a little bit. So it says, and this is how the post starts off, and it's on 4chan, which I know a lot of
Well,
people
not
say
credible.
4chan, it's not credible, but sometimes there are leaks, but they're rare. They're rare that they happen, right? Aaron knows this, Arkham knows this, like especially when it comes to movies. Take it with a grain of salt, right? So this is how it starts off. It says Aquaman is in the game, he is in the tutorial, and he's killed off comedically by King Shark with quips saying how lame he is, right? Then he says that you get to confirm you could kill all of the Justice League members except for Wonder Woman and Flash. There's collectibles in the game where you can they're kind of like bloody costumes of other DC characters or heroes and villains. There's a whole joke about how you can't there's no Riddler trophies in the game, right? So they make fun of that
Makes
by
sense.
killing the Riddler, right? So there's this whole sequence where you get to hear the Riddler die horrifically, right? You have one mission where you're pretty much obtaining a kryptonite bullet to kill Superman, and that's where you actually see the dead body of Lex Luthor and Bloodsport. Obviously, Bloodsport being, everybody knows him from now, the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. So, and then they go into this whole detail about this Flashpoint protocol, which is supposedly a reboot for when things get, when people are dying in the DC universe. So I guess Barry would go back in time and redo everything. And then Superman kills Jimmy Olsen in a cutscene, which there's no mention of Lois Lane or Perry White. And what else do we have here? So you get to fight all the other Justice League, which includes, the Flash, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. You also get to fight Poison Ivy, which is weird. And pretty much at the ending of the game,
How does that make sense? Because Poison Ivy died in Arkham Knight.
none of this makes any sense.
Well, there
None
might be. I mean, I don't think I don't think she died
Well,
because there's a flower at the end when you find her. Like there's a flower.
Well, what it says here is that she essentially merges with the Green, and that's how she comes back. Which, again, that I'm like, I guess that would make sense, right? But you have to now establish the Green and what that is, right? And there's no Swamp Thing here, so it's going to be a lot more confusing to introduce that concept. So, and then at the ending of the game, supposedly, the Flash obviously goes back in time, and he basically erases everything up until the original Arkham Asylum game. And going forward, Joker is still alive. Damian Wayne somehow exists.
What?
And Lex Luthor is working with the Joker. And I guess that's pretty much it.
I think you forgot the part where in the boss fight Wonder Woman snaps Superman's neck.
Yes, that was
really
another
fucking
thing.
funny.
Yes,
This is so bullshit.
and it's compared to Man of Steel. The guy compares it to
bullshit.
Man of Steel.
Someone just made it has fan fiction. This is all fan fiction. I don't believe
it's it's so dumb because it's like they didn't even get to use the kryptonite bullet right to weaken him, and somehow they're still able to kill him. Superman's the strongest fucking thing in the universe. Wonder Woman can't kill him with a snap neck. It's so stupid. It's just it reads as a fan fiction and it just comes off so stupid. And how does Flash know? There's it's out of nowhere he just knows that there's a Flashpoint protocol. It's like he didn't realize that's the thing in the comic. He doesn't realize that like what happens until he actually does the
that
time thing,
version.
right?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean in the Snyder movie, I was telling you this. The Snyder movie, he does he they kind of push him, they kind of egg him to do this, even though he doesn't know what he's doing. So
Mhm.
I'm not like, "Okay, this doesn't make sense. This is not something that has happened before. I mean,
He's
like
experienced in the game though. Like
in the game, yes, he's experienced. So by that logic, right,
yeah,
it would kind of make sense that he would know that this is a
yeah.
possibility, right? So I'm not gonna get like too hooked up on that. I just think the whole concept of if you're gonna kill everybody, right, and then you're gonna reboot it, to me, why even kill
Kinda
everybody
do
in the
it.
first
What a
place?
You know
waste.
what the mistake was?
It makes no sense. Like, makes no sense that makes no sense rebooting the whole universe and everything past Asylum is erased and it starts from
Yeah.
Asylum.
You
It
know,
makes no sense.
you know what's
Yeah.
yeah. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like they're gonna reboot the whole universe so they can make other games with the other DC heroes, the Justice League
Mhm.
members. When they should have done that while Batman was still dealing with Arkham City, Arkham Knight, or Arkham Asylum. Because
Yeah.
we know all those characters were around. Like,
Yeah.
but they have to wait till after Arkham Knight to introduce all those characters. They could have
But
done that. They could have done it before.
they could have done that before. And
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? Here's why
He's still
this
Batman.
rumor
So
doesn't even really make sense. First off, from all we've seen, and I went back and I looked, they've only confirmed that there's 5 Justice League members. So why is Aquaman in the game, being referenced in the game? Like maybe he might be in the game, right? But as of right now, there's only 5 members of the Justice League,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So why would they CGI and change it around like Marvel Studios, right? In a trailer for a video game? That's unheard of. Why would they do that? It just, and then on top of that, too, again, you're killing off all these characters. This is an excessive amount of killing for characters that are
It
being
pisses off people.
brainwashed. Remember, the plot is about them being brainwashed by Brainiac.
Yes.
When has they? There's never a storyline where they're like, we need to kill all the Justice League members because they're being brainwashed. If they're
That
being
never
brainwashed,
happened.
you go for Brainiac. You don't go for we're gonna kill Superman. I know that Amanda Waller
I
is
know.
suggesting to kill.
Boomerang will go after Flash, though.
Yeah, we know that, right? Like the villains, the
Quinn.
villains wanting to kill them makes sense because that's their characters. But they're not gonna actually kill them. Like, I don't. Yeah, what were you saying, Aaron? Sorry.
Crane, from that trailer, Crane doesn't sound like she would want to kill Batman. It sounds like she's becoming a good, like kind of a more
Yeah,
like
why would she want to kill? First off, one, he like, I'm not sure. You're gonna have to remind me, Arkham, because I know you
But
like
she was
Arkham.
pissed in
Arkham
Arkham
Knight.
Knight.
In
Yeah.
Arkham Knight, she was pissed. But
Yeah.
doesn't she get over it? Like, doesn't she kind of come to the realization? Because I'm trying to remember.
Wait, what character you talking about?
We're talking about
Harley
Harley.
She doesn't.
She doesn't really get over it though.
She doesn't really get over it. Like Batman basically captures her and put her in his own kind of prison cell.
Okay.
But
No, but that's the thing. Remember, she's still infatuated with Joker. Her idea was to capture all the Jokers. She doesn't get over it. I think she probably hates.
I mean,
Like,
the thing
him
is,
killing a Joker, but
like,
you know what?
up until this point, right? Since Arkham Knight's released, Harley Quinn's character has dramatically shifted away from Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where so that's why I'm like,
I
how
will
would
say
they
this.
explain that?
I will say she doesn't hate him as much as she hated him
And
in
I-
City, and feels a little like
I
she
personally-
still hates Batman,
Mhm.
but she was trying to kill him and everything like that. But I feel like there'll be growth of her not watching.
I
things
personally
like
think I have no problem with Deadshot being black. Okay, like if they win for the movie stuff, like I have no problem with that. But I personally think having him the original Deadshot from the first few games as an imposter, and this is the actual Deadshot, I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
That's bad.
it's a weird
Wait,
retcon.
was it really an imposter? I thought it was just
Yes,
like,
that's what they
he was
confirmed.
always
Yeah.
black, but they just said he's white. Like they just said he's black.
No.
Like,
Well,
No,
Full
it's
Live's
confirmed
originally
it's an
white in the
imposter.
comics. Like
yeah, but it's like, okay, so they actually confirmed that. Oh, that
Yes,
was a fake.
this was on
Deadshot?
Yeah.
Twitter. They confirmed it. It's
that's
not
so
in the trailer.
stupid.
It's on
I have
Twitter.
no problem.
That
I
is
have no problem.
retarded. That is
Yeah,
so stupid.
I think it
I
just
think, Yeah.
You know the Suicide Squad films, they look really, they resemble kind of like this from the movies, right? Like Harley Quinn and Deadshot, obviously.
They're trying to, in a way, yeah.
I think that for Deadshot's release to be, just keep the original Deadshot from the first 3 games, because he was in Origins, he was in City, and he was in Night. Just keep him from that.
Was Deadshot Night?
I think so.
No,
I think he was just in
no,
City and
Deadshot is
Origins.
not. It's just
Yeah, I think he was just in
Deathstroke is at
Origins.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deathstroke
he's
is a
in City.
tank battle.
He was in Origins
what
in
he
City, right? Just keep him from them.
Yeah,
you
he was
know?
in Origins though. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
He had a bigger part in Origins.
Why did they know if he was an imposter? Like,
Yeah, that's a. I don't remember
Yes.
who brought that up, but yeah, that was also
That's
a good
so
point too.
stupid. You're telling me
Who
for
was it?
years this man
Who
was
was-
Deadshot, but not
who was
really.
the
What
beat?
the
Who was the
fuck?
person saying Deadshot? Seriously.
Yeah,
But
why
it's
would Batman
fucking
take him
stupid.
serious?
Yeah,
Why would
but it's so
Batman take him serious?
stupid because it's like for years the real Deadshot knew that there was an imposter and did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
what
it's
the fuck?
explained that he was in was it Bowery prison and everything like that, like prison where they have all like with the Suicide Squad, and apparently I don't like the idea, but like I don't think Batman would actually know that would be imposter because he has all the gear, the same gear, all the weapons, the same everything. So
Well, the reason why I think it kind of like I don't even really mind if it was an imposter. I think that's an interesting idea, but
Yeah.
like I just think where it falls apart is that if it is an imposter, right? So did he exist beforehand, or is he like a new Deadshot? Because if it's because then you're questioning like, okay, so why doesn't Batman know that he's an imposter, right? Like, is this something like they're gonna have to eventually explain that? Because
yeah, I agree with that.
They're gonna
Like,
have
Origins-
to.
in
at what
Origins, he had
point
the-
is the
in
Yeah, they're gonna
Origins,
have to
imposter comes in?
retcon Origins because Origins that's the first time he sees Deadshot because he's
And
like, there's these assassins coming after me.
And
Or
he
in
has-
my opinion, it should have been
Yes.
the new character is the imposter. That would have
Yeah.
made sense.
Yes.
Yeah, that would. Yeah,
I
that
think
he's
it's
the
still-
impersonator.
You see how buff he looks in that game? Like Deadshot's not really an overly buff character.
Yeah, he's not an overly buff character. He doesn't need to be big.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a
But
range character.
I think it would have been better if you flip it around and say he's the imposter. He killed the other one because he's like, he's more skilled and he just took the name on and he took his real name too. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be a better,
That's
that's kind of an
cooler.
interesting story, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he
cooler.
just literally, took this guy's identity, right?
Yeah, that's cool because he beat you. Like he beat
Yeah.
in your own game. I think he's worthy of the name Deadshot, and he sees that as him like
Mhm.
he's worthy of the name, so he
Or-
takes the name.
Or another thing they could have done is just make the character Bloodsport. I think Bloodsport would have been a better, more interesting character to play as because obviously we've seen him in the movie where it's like he has all these like transforming gadgets.
And if it's true,
I know at that point it was too late; they're deep into development, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
And he's the character in the comics that is the one that has the
fights
kryptonite
Superman.
bullet.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one with the kryptonite. See, that's the one I was thinking. Like Bloodsport does make sense because because Superman's taken over by Brainiac, you need kryptonite.
Bloodsport is probably bold enough to go up against the Justice League.
Yeah.
Little Deadshot.
Whereas Deadshot, because the Deadshot we've seen, he's more cowardly. He hides far away.
I would say he's kind of I would kind of say that. I can't really see even though Deadshot is very skilled, he's extremely skilled.
Right.
Well, no, just in general, he's a skilled marksman. That's his whole character. That's whole.
And
he wouldn't go up against.
Like he wouldn't go head on with you. He would be like far away because
I feel like he's a little bit more tactical. Where it's like I don't see him going up against the Justice League because he knows his odds. Well, Bloodsport is someone who is a little bit more bold enough to take that risk, and it would have made more sense as a character for him to go up against the Justice League.
I mean, the original Deadshot from the comics would go against the Justice League no matter what because he was kind of suicidal.
Sure. I just feel like more in the interpretation of the characters.
Yeah.
Recently, he is a little bit more. I always seen him as tactical. Like he's not Deathstroke. He's not Deathstroke tactical, but he is still very smart.
Deathstroke is both Bloodsport and Deadshot into one in terms of tactical and bold. That's Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstroke has went against Superman
Yeah.
Yes.
in the Justice
But
League.
he
everybody-
abused
yeah, he
Dick
is-
Grayson. Poor Dick
he
Grayson.
has more of a chance because obviously his alterations and his suit. He has more of a
Yeah.
chance of going up against the Justice League. So I feel like
And he's crazy.
He's a more
Yeah,
powerful
he's-
Captain America. He's more,
He's
yeah, more
batshit
powerful.
crazy.
I'm sorry, but Deathstroke is more powerful Captain America because I think the serum he took is more powerful than the one Captain America took. I personally think so because I'm guaranteed because some of the characters Deathstroke took on in DC, I don't think Captain America would ever be able to beat.
yeah. I always feel like people were having this
Well,
Twitter
he's cooler
conversation
than
too,
Captain America.
where I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
that's for
DC
sure.
characters would would like absolutely wipe the floor.
I mean, they got Superman. He's supposed to be the most powerful thing in the universe. So,
But it's not. It's
I
not
mean,
just Superman. Well, I'm sure Wonder Woman could probably take out Captain America.
oh yeah,
Batman would probably
definitely.
take out
What the
Captain
fuck?
America. If
Yeah,
he really wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody rates the DC characters higher in terms of power level. So
Yeah, because
But Marvel's got Wolverine. They got at least
Marvel has a
one
lot of
buddy.
characters.
They
DC.
still got that guy. He's fucking.
I mean,
he
but
just
they're
keep
not
coming
like
back.
Spider-Man is pretty powerful, but
But he holds
yeah.
back unless he doesn't hold back.
I
he
mean,
says he
No,
holds
kill
back.
motherfucker. He holds back. So I'm saying that if he doesn't hold back,
it could be
you don't
Spider-Man.
because remember you don't really know
Yeah.
because we saw hints of it in the comics when he went after the Kingpin. I think when
Yeah.
Ant-Man got shot, like you saw a hint of it. Like he fucking embarrassed Kingpin, right? He slapped him around like a bitch. So it's like
I like both.
we haven't really seen Spider-Man's full like where he can go ape shit because he doesn't want to go ape shit. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So
I mean, I know Arkham's answer.
you already know my answer. It's
I like.
DC.
Yeah.
I'm more DC, but I like Marvel too. Like,
I like both. I read both. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm not-
it's kind of.
I'm a bit more Marvel than DC.
I'm
but-
not one to choose a side. Like you have to be one or the other.
Like,
I
I
think the
don't
stupidest thing
hate Marvel.
ever.
It's just I grew up with DC. I read more DC. I know more about DC. It's like
Yes, Arkham is like top tier knowledge on DC stuff. So
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know about this game. I really don't know about the Suicide Squad. I want it to be good. I still like Rocksteady. Even though I don't like the story of Arkham Knight, but I still feel like it's a decent game. It's a very good game. It's well polished. It's still fun to play. Like it's the best, out of all in
Gameplay.
terms of gameplay
Yeah.
wise.
It's the best.
Right? Maybe
one.
the tank. They could have improved all of that, but
I don't
it's
even
still a decent
mind
game.
that. Like, I don't even mind the tank stuff. I just hate that there's like a lot of boss fights are in the tank, and like there's one where you have to stealth like a fucking
yeah, I know.
tank. Remember that one? I was like, this is terrible. Who came up with this? I want to kill them. Yeah, I hate that boss fight. I was like, this is stupid as shit, bro.
Like
But
I don't have like big hatred towards Arkham Knight as everyone else. Like I don't think it's like people make it like it's the worst Arkham game. It's like it's
No,
not.
It's
Like the worst Arkham
I
game
think it's
is
Origin.
Blackgate. Black.
I don't
Or
think
if you
any
want-
of them
yes,
are
if
bad.
you wanna
Like,
say
none
that,
of them,
yeah.
I mean, I've been playing a bit of Origins on my PC, but like
Origins is
It's-
underrated.
no.
I think it's a
Blackgate
good talk
Origins.
enough.
is-
Blackgate Origins.
yes,
That's
Blackgate Origins. You could say that's whack, but like the others are just good Batman games.
But
Or
that
good
game
Batman
does have an
games.
interesting concept that I kind of want to see them revisit because
Oh,
it's like a 2D Metroidvania game. So it's like
Yeah, that was
and that might be interesting
Sure,
for a Batman.
as a side
game.
game.
You
Yeah.
know the Suicide movie, not from the live action Arkham
The-
Assault.
the-
That's based
yes.
on the
Assault on
that's based on
Arkham.
universe.
That was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that movie. That was a cool animated.
I
movie.
do.
Oh, that shot's fake too, then?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
what
the
the
same
fuck?
one.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same
because
Deadshot.
that
I just
shot
realized,
wouldn't
too.
acted like how Deadshot would act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
It-
want
it's-
to
it's
know
thinking,
how
yeah,
they're
it's
going
really
to
bad.
with Batman. Because we all know he faked his death. I'm interested how they're going to explain like after he faked his death. Like, does he have another like secure base? Did he went to the Justice
Mhm.
League, tell him
Yeah.
his identity is loose, etc. Like, I think they do have to tie what happened to Batman
Yeah.
within Suicide Squad kills Justice League.
Well, everybody knows
Yeah.
that.
Well, the thing is, like Batman and Suicide Squad, she says Bruce, so that means like
Yeah.
he must still be Batman in Gotham because it's
Mhm.
not like she's shocked, like holy shit, Batman, you're back. Like it's like, oh, it's Batman. It's like, hey, it's Bruce.
Yeah.
So it's like he must have still just been. Like,
well,
the
they
city must have known he was still
confirmed
there.
they confirmed that he never he never
He
stopped.
left, obviously.
No,
yeah, but
Bruce
it's like
Wayne is dead. Bruce Wayne is dead. Batman still lives on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see what that is. I just want to. It's starting to get late, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
wrap it up. So, you guys have any final thoughts? Do you guys want to say who's gonna win the console war? Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, or who's gonna win Game of the Year? What do you guys think?
Nintendo.
I
Zelda.
personally think who's gonna win Game of the Year. I think it's between probably Spider-Man or Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Between those two.
Okay, that's okay.
I think Game of the Year is going to be between Zelda or Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
going to.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Zelda, and my
Zelda,
second
definitely.
guess. This is a bold one because we were just slandering Xbox, but I think Starfield has a chance. I know that may sound crazy, but Fallout 4 was nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So
Fallout 4
Listen,
is good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
do like
Fallout
Fallout
4.
4.
I still like Fallout 4, yeah, but like, it's not an RPG. It's definitely not an RPG, but it's still a good game.
Kirby
Kirby
So-
should have won last year. I know we
Yeah.
got the remake this year, but I loved Forgotten. Is it Forgotten Lands? I'm totally blanking on the name, but the 3D Kirby that came out.
Island.
Forgotten somethings.
It's like Forgotten Lands.
Forgotten.
I'm not a
Forgotten
fan of the
Land.
title, but I love the game. The game is a great game. If you haven't played it, you should play it. It's that good. Yeah.
Wait, did
So-
Spider-Man? No, I was gonna say I thought, but I realized Spider-Man was not. Was Spider-Man nominated for Game of the Year? or
Yes,
something?
but I lost to I think 2018, right?
18, it was
that,
God of War 1.
that was a strong because Red Dead.
Red Dead.
two was in that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of Sony's games competing against each other. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Fine
This
is
this
hard,
year's
right?
stacked too.
That's
This year's
pretty
stacked.
funny.
So
But I honestly think it's gonna be Zelda. I feel like hands down it has to be Zelda. Like,
yeah.
it's like people have been waiting for this game for so long, and they've never made a bad Zelda game. I mean, it's just gonna be Breath of the Wild. But
Well, I mean, they
obviously
have made. I'm not gonna say they haven't made bad Zelda games. I mean,
okay, generally they've always made
they
every
always
big
make
Zelda.
when a Zelda game comes out, it gets good reviews. You know what I mean? But like, I don't even think Skyward Sword won Game of the Year.
Okay, but that's the weird thing because it's like, yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you say. Like
Forgotten
every
Land.
Zelda game comes out, and there's always like this idea like it's a bad. That wasn't as good as that one, or the last one was better. But with Breath of the Wild, it felt like everybody just was like, "This is fucking amazing!" Like everybody was after that game. So it's like,
Well, they need to build on a lot of the foundations of what made that game great, and I also feel like it needs to have a
they're
better
gonna do-
story.
I think they're gonna
So.
do. Oh yeah, story. Yeah, I don't even know Breath of the Wild. I don't even know what's going on in the story.
Well,
I'll be honest. I just
Well,
think
you know what? I'm gonna say beat the game.
no, but like to get the story, you kind of have to find the pictures, and I'm like, so it's like, almost like optional to find.
It's not just the pictures, but if you beat the Divine Beast, you'll get.
Yeah,
the
I only
cutscenes
beat
and
like
stuff.
one Divine Beast so far. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back obviously to it, but I'm gonna beat Odyssey
Or you could
first,
just-
and then
Or you can
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
Zelda.
or you can
Breath
go
of-
straight
I'm
to
gonna
the
be so-
boss. The final boss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
could, but
could go-
I'm gonna get my ass whooped, man.
I know.
I'm a suck ass.
It'll be
but,
funny though.
I'll get my ass-
You
I'll
could
be
you
crying.
could do it. You could do
You
it.
could do it if
It's
you're a
hard, though.
pro gamer.
You still
but,
have
know,
to beat
me-
all the bosses, though. That's the thing. You have to
Yeah.
beat all 4, and then
Divine
games on
Beast.
top of that too. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna thank my guests. I know Arkham and Aaron's got a lot of streams going on, so they could plug their stuff for
Oh,
people
yeah.
listening. So, you want to go first, Aaron?
Sure. So tonight I'm gonna be on my friend's Mad Max's channel, Movie Madness channel. We're gonna do talk member stream, and then we're gonna do a watch along for Last of Us. It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're not gonna show the stream obviously on YouTube because it's illegal.
Copyright.
So we can use a share screen, stuff like that. We're gonna use that. And Tuesdays, just because this show is coming on Mondays, usually on my Saturday streams, I usually do like review streams of movies and TV shows. But if there's nothing for me to review or on Saturdays, I'll talk about a general pop culture topic. But since Last of Us is on Sundays, Tuesdays will be my review for
Yes.
Last of Us, and that'll be a spoiler review stream.
Yeah, and I'll be there too, of course, because I love The Last of Us.
Doesn't
Um,
Last of Us come out tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's
9
gonna be
p.m.
interesting.
and
9
for
p.m.
for us though.
Yeah. So, Arkham, you want to plug your stuff? Because I know you got some
you
stuff
could-
going on.
You can find me at Arkham. I changed my name, so I should
Yeah.
change it on my
It's
freaking
Arkham Unlimited now.
Yeah, unlimited. I think Monday everything will be done, so I'll have at least 3 reviews done, and I'm gonna be streaming on Thursday about. Hopefully, there's something about the DCU. I'm hoping this week's about DCU, and I can stream it. And yeah, mostly just DC comic books, gaming, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, James Gunn delivers.
Well,
Who knows if he'll deliver?
We're in the Grace this week.
This week, he better. We're gonna be hassling him if he doesn't. And
I will be hassling him. I'll be hassling Grace if she's wrong.
I'm hassling. We're gonna hassle both of them.
Okay, both of them.
Because he did say it's coming late this month. He did say that.
Once
But,
the middle of the month, right? So,
But that could
Yeah.
mean like
that could
late-
mean the following week.
next week, not this week.
Yeah. Yeah, but
No, I
anyway.
think it means like the late. I think it's the around the 25th through
the 25th.
I think it's around the second week or the 31st, like because like
Probably.
that's what I think late means, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. But we'll see. So I'm gonna end the stream now. I want to thank everybody who showed up.
Hey,
we
you
got
did that
Albert,
monkey- you did that
Tony.
monkey promote.
Yeah, well, Monkey, listen.
Well, you can find me in the jungle. That's where I'll be. You guys be on your streams and on your YouTube channels. I'll be eating bananas in the jungle. That's where you'll see me.
Oh man,
The Toronto Zoo, bro. That's where
Oh man. We gonna get canceled because of you one day.
What the fuck did I say? I just said I'm a monkey, bro.
You said
Jeez.
too much. You said
I can't be a monkey.
yeah. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks, Albert, Dean, Tony, Willie, Finbar, anybody who watches on the replay. And obviously I want to thank my guests. So stay tuned next Sunday. I might be doing something Marvel related. So we're gonna be switching topics and stuff. So anyway, peace.
Later, everybody.
Peace. Yeah, later, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.